Welcome, I'm danipalacio, and this is a Waking Moment podcast. If this is your first time joining me and the rest of the community, I welcome you. And thanks to all those that are returning. This episode is part of the Chakra series, and today we are going to talk about the throat chakra. It's one of those chakras that a lot of information is known about it, but I've gotten some really cool insights that I thought shifted my perspective a bit. So I'm excited to share that with you. And please, if this episode feels good to you and you'd love to share it, please pass it on to friends, family, coworkers. It really is very supportive, and I thank you in advance. Okay, so the throat chakra. First, I want to start off by saying that the throat chakra is blue, right? So I want you to stop and think about what is blue for you. Like when you think of something that is blue, what first comes to your mind? Is it blueberries? Is it a blue pen? Is it a blue crystal? Is it a blue candle? I don't know. For me, I'm wearing blue today. This is a navy blue, but I also just like a second ago, as I was starting to hit record, I got a message about writing in blue, and I thought, oh, I don't do that always. But then I looked at my pens and look at all the blue pens I have. I have like a marker version, a calligraphy pen, an ink pen. All of these are blue. And so I want to encourage you to use blue pens. I'm going to start using blue pens because I usually use black. And I think it's just not even a thought. So I'm adding the thought to your awareness. Use a blue pen. And then I also, in preparation for today's recording, I lit a blue candle. And I said a prayer before I lit it. And I invite you to do that. Like these 7-day prayer candles is what I call them. I don't know what other people call them, but they're found everywhere. And honestly, I bought this one at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Yeah, it's not the dollar, quote unquote, Dollar Tree anymore. But the point is that you can get it fairly inexpensively. You can even get votive candles or any blue will do. I also brought 2 magical crystals from my personal collection. And one is kunzite, and it's blue. And this particular one is in this shape, which I was really drawn to years ago. I've had this as part of my collection. Oh, I don't even know how long, honestly, but it's beautiful. And it helps because for me, the peak here, if you're watching, I'm showing it. And if you're not, it's got a point at the top that I believe helps bring voice, throat chakra energy up. And so, and then last but not least is a blue quartz. This crystal is pretty rare. It's and it's pretty new for me. I've only had it for maybe 3 years. But I love it because it's got that beautiful quartz, energy of clarity, and then it's got these blue tinges and that part right there, I'm showing it again if you're watching. If you're not watching, I'm just describing the blue quartz crystal, and it's flat on the back, which I really like because then I can hold it in my hand. I can put it on my chest. I can put it on my throat. Oh, that feels so good. I just put it on my throat if you're not watching. So I have brought some special energies with me to talk about the throat chakra. Let's dive in. The throat chakra, of course, is the chakra that is around expression. So we're talking about communication and how we say things, the tone in which we say them. I love the throat chakra because we as humans, we talk, right? Animals have sounds, but they too have a throat chakra. And when we think about the throat chakra, again, remember that it's multidimensional. It's not flat. So it's the front of your throat all the way to the back of your neck. And it includes the jaw and teeth of your face and skull. And then it comes down into your chest a bit. And I kind of view it more like where the collarbone kind of comes into the shoulder. Like that's the whole throat chakra for me. So when we think about the placement, this is the 5th chakra in the series, in the progression of chakras from root to sacral to solar plexus, heart, throat, then third eye, and then crown. And when we think about the placement, what it does is it is a translator for your heart wisdom and your knowing, your intuitive knowingness of the third eye. So when we combine those two, what we intuitively know, what we sense with what we feel, the throat chakra's job is to translate and bring that wisdom out, bring that energy out. And when that happens, it's magic. Like you don't have to worry so much about how to say things because you have connected your intuitive wisdom with your heart wisdom, and the words come out, and give it a try. Like sit with, I'm actually going to record a throat chakra meditation to get in tune with it a bit more. And that'll be at the end of this episode. And I will be adding that meditation and time marking it so you can quickly get there. But imagine what that might feel like, right? Where your intuitive knowingness, that sense of what's happening with the heart wisdom that you're feeling, and then allowing the words to come out with what needs to be said and in a way that needs to be said, right? So it's not only what is said, but it's the vibration, because the voice box, right, is here. And so in that, it's vibrating, creating sound, and we can speak and people can hear it with the element of air. If we spoke with no sound, it would still be a feeling, right? It would still have a vibration, but the air allows it to move and to flow to those that are in the area to hear it. And there's a lot more on that, like intuitively, when we speak our truth, the intuitive part of us feels it. So we don't even hear it, we feel it. And that's the heart. And then it's magical. So the throat chakra, I'm wearing a blue necklace. That's another way to support your throat chakra is wear blue, get a blue crystal, and surround your throat with blue. And so like a blue scarf would be beautiful, or a scarf with a lot of blues. If you wear a scarf, if you live in a cold climate, think about wearing a blue scarf. And again, anything blue, have fun with this color. It's a range of blue. Again, it's everything. I mean, it's everything. Look, you can even look up the range of colors of blue. I'm sure that there are hundreds, if not thousands. So now I'm going to dive in and I'm going to pull in the wisdom from my Word document over here. And I want to talk a little bit about all the various elements of the throat chakra. So again, I'm blue, but what's the shape? It's a crescent. So when you think of like a crescent moon, it's a crescent. It's the lotus. We've talked about the lotus in every single chakra episode. This one has 16 petals. So beautiful, full, open. Since I just talked about sound and frequency, H-A-M, hem, and then just extend the M. And the vowel sound is E. So even that pitch, and you can do it lower, E, and you can do it even higher, which I'm not going to do because it might hurt ears. But it's our right to speak. And if you have been told to be quiet, to not say your truth, that it's better to just keep your thoughts, your voice quiet, not heard. So you limit when you speak, you limit when you write, you limit when and how you express yourself. The throat chakra is the center of that, right? So every time you deny yourself the truth of what you know is true and that you want to speak, or you want to sing, or you want to hum, or you want to express, it closes it. Imagine those 16 petals starting to close in on each other, closing, closing until they're a tight ball. And then we lose our gift of expression. So again, I want you to think about all the times you haven't said something that you know you wanted to, or that someone has talked over you and quieted your voice. You have the right to speak and you have the right to be heard. And so speak your truth. And again, that comes in many different ways of communication and expression, authenticity. So it can be in writing, it can be in a podcast, it can be in a song, it can be in a conversation. And so there are more ways to communicate than we actually even recognize. And so going into that energetic unseen world, the sound comes from a vibration and a frequency. And so when you don't know what to say or how to say it, just start humming. Just start vibrating that voice and letting it have a chance to really tune in and open. I like to do this in the shower, particularly to set my day up, where I tone. Sometimes I do Om. Sometimes I do made up things, and I just kind of play with my voice in the shower. It just helps set the day to warm up the throat chakra. And whenever you feel like your throat or your truth is being suppressed, put your hand on the throat and let your warmth of the hand warm up that throat, that area of your neck. And you can even use both hands, right? Where you cup your neck and you just let it sit there. And maybe you say positive things. There's going to be a list of affirmations for the throat chakra in the summary notes. And so I encourage you to check those out and maybe say a few of them, or maybe start to hum. I know that this isn't necessarily popular in the Western world, but chanting is a really beautiful way to strengthen your throat chakra and increase its frequency. And so chanting, I've used a couple links, one on Spotify, one on YouTube, that you can take a listen to. But again, like I always say, put it into a search engine, chant with your throat chakra, or heal your throat chakra, or expand your throat chakra. Any of those keywords are going to get you to articles, videos, songs that you can play and hum along to, maybe sing with. And so have fun. This is something to reclaim, right? Like our voice and the way it sounds. Like if you've ever been told that your voice is so irritating, or it's too high pitched, or it's too low and you're so serious, I want you to play with that. Don't let that stop you from having your authentic voice. Yeah, there's a lot to say about that. And I think the challenge for the throat chakra is about when we become scared and shut down, we tend to lie. We tend to make up story around whatever it is because we don't want to speak our truth. And so watch when you do that. Notice, ask for more noticing around when you say a half truth or when you write out boldly lie. It happens. We all do it. I've done it. It's human. It's okay. And I like to bring in the planet on this one because the planet Mercury, we all have a relationship to. And if you know anything about astrology, great. Mercury has a lot of, it's the messenger. And Mercury goes retrograde, and our world kind of obsessed when Mercury goes retrograde because it means all these things, like electronics and voice and don't sign contracts. And there's all these warnings about when Mercury goes retrograde. Believe or not believe, it's your choice. Stay authentic, stay true to who you are, stay mindful of what you're saying and why you're saying it and who you're saying it to. And so that all will help your throat chakra, this beautiful blue energy center, stay full, juicy, ripe, expressive in a beautiful way. Animals, because you know how much I love spirit animals and animal totems and animal guides, right? Take a look at elephant, bull, and lion. They all have an energy that helps you form how you want to speak. And what I mean by that is elephant has its call out, right? But it's also huge. And so when it walks, it can, the sound of a walk with an elephant on like grass or dry dirt, it's big. It's resonating. And the bull, of course, when you think about a bull, it huffs and it puffs and it makes those loud noises. And a lion too, it roars. And all of these sounds stop, I think, time. It's like, whoa, what was that? Oh my goodness. And you stop and you check it out. Imagine if your voice could do that. When I was a young person, little girl living in Minnesota, there was this commercial that I saw all the time and heard it, and it still stays with me. And it says, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. And I think about that now in my current self, and I'm like, huh. And E.F. Hutton, for those that don't know it, is or was, I don't even know if it's still around. It was like a Les Schwab, not a Les Schwab. That's a tire store here in Oregon. And Charles Schwab. It was an investment insurance company. And so when E.F. Hutton talked, people stopped and they listened. And that was the marketing campaign. And it did great. And I think it is true. So imagine yourself talking and people stopping and actually listening to what you're saying. Like, how beautiful is that? It's so cathartic for the person that's speaking, and it's so empowering for those that listen. So either one way or another, you are participating in that experience of talking, expressing, communicating, as well as listening. And that's something that I don't think everybody thinks about. Active listening requires that you stop and listen, that you stop your thoughts about jumping ahead and trying to anticipate, and you just stay in the present moment and you listen to that person. And you might ask a powerful question back. You might acknowledge that person. I hear you saying, and asking, is that what you meant? I love what you just said. Could you add more to it? Could you add more clarity so that I can understand more and be more supportive and available to you? Like, that's active listening, not that, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. All right, well, and then you jump off to another tangent and you didn't even engage in the conversation or the sharing. It doesn't even have to be a conversation. It can just be someone's truth and they're sharing it. And instead of trying to fix it or come up with a really cool thing to say about it, acknowledge, I heard you. I can feel that you are joyful, upset, confused, pondering, right? Like, it's something to give back to the person sharing. And that's why I have got to figure out better ways to like do live engagements with you all, because podcasts are great, but it's me talking and sharing and you listening and integrating and wondering. But it would be wonderful if we actually like got on a live, or when I'm offering a retreat, you come and visit and you come to the retreat, or you set up a coaching call, or you set up a healing session. So I invite all those things, by the way. Okay. Let's see. What else does the throat chakra want to say today? I'm going to share some affirmations because affirmations are wonderful. They can literally shift a moment, and they can help open up new frequency, new energy, a way to uh, state what you want, that beautiful, powerful intention. And I also, at the same time, understand that some people are a little turned off by affirmations because they feel like they're fake or that they don't work. And I understand that. I really do, because sometimes when we constantly do affirmation after wow, that's a hard one to say. When we're repeating affirmations, it can start to feel like you're almost like brainwashing yourself into believing it. And so when you say an affirmation, make sure that it really resonates with you and feel what it feels like to say the affirmation, and ask your body to support the highest potential of that affirmation. And so if you've had a challenging relationship with affirmations, I invite you to revisit it and try again. See how you can make it your own, right? If somebody gives you an affirmation, which I'm just about to do, and it's not exactly resonating with you, do you need to change a word? Do you need to delete a word? Do you need to say it differently? And I'm not necessarily by words, but saying it differently by tone, or maybe you need to sing the affirmation. That's always fun. I've done that in the past. So here are a few just to consider, and there's so many more in the summary notes of this episode. I am open, clear, and honest in my communication. I have a right to speak my truth. We really do. It's a God-given right. You were born human, and you do. It is a birthright of yours to speak your truth. I have integrity. This one, I want to say, helps you affirm that you do have integrity and that you live an integral life. So when you say it out loud, I have integrity. I am a person who lives an integral life. A little longer. So how I shifted it, the I am statement versus I have, both are powerful, right? So again, play with the affirmation until it feels and resonates with you. And I express my gratitude. And you can fill that sentence out even more. I express my gratitude with ease. I express my gratitude towards life. I express my gratitude towards my beloved. I express my gratitude to the universe for all of my abundance. But starting off with, I express my gratitude, helps your body resonate with, oh, wow, gratitude is such a high vibration. And then specifically calling out and naming what you express your gratitude to or towards helps send that energy of gratitude to the person, to the place, to the experience. And that's a blessing on anyone receiving it. It's a blessing to you for saying it, but it's a blessing to them, whoever it is that you're directing that gratitude towards. And so I personally love the reciprocity of life, where one gives and one receives, and one receives and one gives, and that back and forth of it. And affirmations can do that, right? It's particularly if you call out the person, the place, the experience, the tree, the flower, the whatever it is that you are expressing gratitude toward and or feeling gratitude for. It's magical. It's that magical. People often ask me, or I've heard people say, why is that person so happy? Why is that person always in a good mood? I've been called a Pollyanna. And I realize that's probably not a good reference anymore because it was when I was a kid, it was a Disney show movie called Pollyanna. And it just means that she was happy, she was expressive, she always found the good in everything. And I'm proud to be called a Pollyanna because I love looking and feeling into all the good. And I'm actually in a process in my life right now where I am trying to stop using good and bad. So when I say good, I often correct myself and be like, what do I actually really feel? I feel hopeful. I feel joyful. I feel excited. I am at peace. I am, like there's other words to describe what good actually means. And so, and since we're in the throat chakra this week, really look at your word choices and make sure that you're truly expressing yourself. I used to think those people that would take a moment and like stop, think, and then speak were a little like affected, a judgmental, right? Like, oh, what are they doing? They're so weird. They're so affected. Like, why do they have to? And now I kind of like it. So all things kind of go around, but there's some really deliciousness around choosing your words and really thinking about what word will express the truth, the authentic self, not the words that we have lazily started and continue to use because they're just there. Like, how many times have you said when somebody says, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm good." And I know that you're supposed to say, "Well." So for those grammar aficionados, yeah, I get it. But I'm talking more about why not say, "I am, how are you?" And you can say, "I'm feeling really inspired. I'm actually really tired right now." I've said that because, cashiers at retail stores, yeah, I still shop at retail stores. So they always 99% of the time ask me, "How you doing? How's your day going? How you feeling?" Um, and I've learned to take that as an opportunity to express my authenticity around what it is I'm actually experiencing. And so sometimes somebody says, "How's your day going?" And I'm like, "Oh, it was really challenging, but I'm grateful that I'm here and it's my last stop before I get to head home." So play with that. Become aware of what you're saying, when you're saying it, how you're saying it. And internally, we all have a voice. We all have that loving, compassionate cheerleader. And we also have the critic judger inside of us that's constantly saying stuff. The throat chakra, when you strengthen it, when you start to actually pay attention to it, those internal voices also shift. So this is not just about expression that is heard, but it is expression that is happening internally inside of you. So please take the throat chakra this week and play with it. Get blue all over your life. Eat blueberries. Drink, I don't know what else is blue actually. Oh, that pea butterfly tea that when you oh, it's so beautifully blue. Look that up. Butterfly pea tea, PEA, like anyway, it's gorgeous. These blue flowers that you steep, and it's delicious too. And it's blue. And if you add a squirt of lemon or other citrus, it turns purple, which I think is fabulous. It's so beautiful, right? So again, have fun with this and enjoy exploring new ways to strengthen your throat chakra. Again, I'm going to do a meditation that's going to come after this episode. I'll put the timestamp in. I'll probably even upload it separately so that you can just listen to that. And there'll be more instructions in that guided meditation on how to support the throat chakra energetically and physically. I've mentioned a few, like putting your hands on your throat. At this moment, I just was reminded that a lot of us in past incarnations, it happens, right? Where our heads were cut off, we were hung, we were choked, and there's other things, but let's just use those three as an example. And that might still negatively be impacting you. When something tragic like that happens and we die from that experience, there's a residual imprint. And so if you don't like things around your neck, if you don't touch your neck, if it's a very sensitive area for you, you are constantly clearing your throat over and over again, where it literally makes you anxious and upset to have to even think about speaking, whether it's to someone or to a group, that typically can be tied back to a past incarnation where something traumatic happened to that throat chakra. And there's a lot of ways to torture, and all of it's been already done in history. And I would be happy. I would be, well, not, well, yes, I would be happy, but it would be my honor to support you in healing that throat chakra from past incarnations, because you don't need to hold on to the trauma and the pain. And so if any of those things resonated with you that I just said, and you're like, I would love to have that cleared, please reach out to me. We can figure it out. I want to encourage you to play with your voice, though. That's my last note of encouragement. And I mean it. Like, when you're at home and you're safe and there's no one else around, scream, let it out. Ah, let it out. And hum, sing. I know a lot of you sing in the car, like, rocking out to some music that's just really making you sing it out. Keep doing that. And again, when you're not in a place to actually verbally express out, pay attention to what's going on inside and hum. Just hum. Or any of it, like whatever you want to do. It's still activating that throat chakra. You can be silly about it, and it can be very quiet too. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to the next episode of sharing, and I wish you a beautiful moment and really clear, intentional, authentic communication. May your throat chakra shine and send out beautiful, inspiring, lovely sounds. That may be words, that may be tones, whatever it is, it's all accepted here. So thank you again, and I will connect with you next week.